Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from Thomas. Before I get to Thomas's video, please go to the description box, click on the Rumble link. I asked everybody to watch on Rumble. Still monetized there, and it'll help out with the channel. On to Thomas's story. He has an update on one of his last videos. The narcissist baby boomer talks at you, not with you. Here we go. I've got an update for the video you titled "The Narcissist Baby Boomer Talks at You, Not With You," a video request for a video and a video request for a video about boomers. After you did that video, the last few years I've been doing my best to avoid the boomer narcissist Neil at the park. He did see me a few times on the trails, but we didn't talk for very long, and I made a point to keep moving. One time Neil saw me walking in the park and made a beeline at me and then looked angry for some reason and tried to have a conversation with me. But I got out of that fast. The day Trump got shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, I went to the park and was eating my lunch in the car when Neil drove up and parked next to me. Neil looked real excited because he hates Trump, of course. Neil asked me if I had heard what happened to Trump, and he had a grin on his face. Then I told Neil I'm not a psycho who wants to see someone's head blown off and that I voted for Trump. After that, Neil pretended to agree with me and drove away in his small eco-friendly car. He drove a Fiat 500 before buying a Nissan Juke. Jesus. What are those two cars? I think they come in packs of 5. They're like disposable. I usually don't go to that park much during the winter, which helped me break contact with Neil. I started going back to the park this spring and summer, and I noticed Neil was talking to a woman when I walked up the trail, and they both had walking sticks. The woman appears to be a hippie-type boomer. I park in the back of the park, and when I showed up there almost every day, I kept seeing Neil talking to that woman. One day she was parked near my car alone with her dog, and I introduced myself to her when she was outside of her car near me. I asked her how long she had known Neil, and she told me she had known him for about 3 months. I told her to watch out for Neil because he can be very competitive and passive-aggressive. I'm always wary just to give unsolicited advice to somebody who hasn't asked it, you know. Best to stay away, I think, but let's see where this goes. After a month of going to the park and seeing her here and there, I had additional conversations with her and eventually told her Neil's a narcissist. She said she understands what narcissism is, and she noticed Neil's words weren't matching his actions. She told me that he gave her a walking stick and a battery charger because she's living in her car and feels the need to help homeless people. Wow, okay, there's a little twist. I told her that's just Neil being condescending to her because he feels so superior to her because he lives in a $1 million house, has the money in a trust, and always drives a brand new car. She noticed Neil is being manipulative by buying her things and love bombing her. How old is she? I wonder. She was walking with Neil past my car. I had the windows down, and I heard him lying to her because Neil was telling her he doesn't trust doctors because they're only in the business to keep people sick. But I remember back in 2021, Neil getting every COVID vaccine they told him to get and was wearing a mask outside in public when alone. I told her about that, and she said the next time she was talking to Neil that she had called him out on his claims not to trust doctors. She said things are now getting awkward with Neil. Neil has been stalking her a lot in the park because when I'm sitting in my car eating my lunch, I've seen him pull into the parking lot where I'm at just to see if she's there, and if she's not, he turns around and leaves the area. Yeah, stalker. I've gone for my walk on the trail and have seen Neil show up at the park, sit at a bench, watch kids playing at the playground while he's waiting to see if she drives into the park. Then about 30 minutes, he leaves if she's not there. I told her that Neil is stalking her, and she said she had to deal with stalkers in the past. She said because Neil is a narcissist that she's going to try to wean him off the narcissistic supply she's been giving him because she's been giving him a lot of attention and validation as he constantly plays victim to her about his childhood and the situation between him and his wife where they're not on good terms. He's working this girl and she's living out of her car. Again, there is nothing the boomer narcissist will not make about themselves. He's literally there stalking a homeless woman living out of her car, and when he deals with her, he can only talk about himself. There's no one the boomer narcissist will not take advantage of. No one. No one. No one the boomer narcissist will not take advantage of. She thought she was helping him get into a better relationship with his wife, but I told her that's probably a lie because Neil told me he was sneaking into the kitchen to get food to avoid his wife. Neil is 75 years old, so I doubt he's had some breakthrough in his relationship with her. I overheard Neil saying to her that he was going out to dinner with his wife and some friends, but I think he was just trying to make her jealous, or he was being passive aggressive because she was homeless. Of course he was. Of course he is. She wants him to beg. He wants her to beg him for help. There is no one the boomer narcissist will not take advantage of. No one. It's been only a month since I've talked to this woman about 7 times. She did put up some red flags, such as one time she claimed to be a goddess, and she told me she's a dark empath that has no heart and no love the last time we talked. Yeah, I mean, might not be any good people in this situation, Tom. I looked up dark empath online, and it says a dark empath is, quote, a dark empath is a person who combines high levels of empathy with manipulative, self-serving traits often linked to the dark triad of narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. While they can understand and even others share emotions, they use this ability to manipulate or gain advantage rather than for genuine connection. I'm not sure if that's what she means. She is, but if that's what she is, then we're probably going to be avoiding each other at the park. Yeah. See, this is why you don't give unsolicited advice, because you don't know what you're getting into. You're injecting yourself into this. And here's the thing. What'll happen is if and when she actually does try to confront him or break contact, and say she's going to say, well, your friend Thomas warned me about you, and you're going to be dragged in even deeper. Never give unsolicited advice. Never give unsolicited advice to these people, because you're putting a target on yourself. You are. I did change the time I go to the park back 2 hours, but Neil started showing up early to talk to that woman. He was showing up later the last summer when I was there, or maybe he's just hanging out at the park for 5 hours a day to avoid being at home with his wife. Things have been better, even though I see him there, I'm not running into him face to face on the trails. Okay, here's a video about boomers I'd like you to review, and I'll do that in another video. So, again, there's nothing this guy won't exploit, or no one the boomer narc will not take advantage of. I think your mistake here, though, Thomas, is you're injecting yourself into something and giving unsolicited advice to somebody who didn't ask for it. I understand where you're coming from with your dealings with Neil, and your dealings with your past and your family, and you're sensitive to this. Sometimes you just got to let him fight, because it doesn't look like there's any good people in this situation. Neil, however, he's just telling you who he is. Living in $1 million house, bragging to a homeless woman. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's nothing they won't take advantage of and make about themselves. Nothing. There is no situation that these people will not turn into, make it an issue about them. Period. So don't go around giving unsolicited advice. You're just asking for trouble there. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your contribution and story, Thomas. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both my channels on Rumble. If you haven't watched the video over there, please do. Even a click helps. Follow me on X and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.